The Lesser Key of Solomon. Demons on speed dial. Ever thought about summoning a demon to do your chores? Enter the Lesser Key of Solomon, the ultimate 17th century grimoire for all your supernatural needs. Think of it as the original Demonpedia, cataloging 72 spirits that King Solomon allegedly tamed back in the day. Of course, let's be real. Solomon was probably too busy with royal duties to personally compile a demon directory. The Lesser Key of Solomon, also known by its Latin title Lemegeton Clavicula Salomonis, or simply the Lemegeton, is an anonymously authored grimoire on sorcery, mysticism, and magic. The Latin term Goetia refers to the evocation of demons or evil spirits. The text draws inspiration from the Testament of Solomon and the magical ring he allegedly used to command demons. It is divided into 5 books: the Ars Goetia, Ars Goetia, Ars Paulina, Ars Almadel, and Ars Notoria. The Ars Almadel instructs the magician on how to create a wax tablet with specific designs intended to contact angels via scrying. The Ars Goetia, the first book of the grimoire, lists 72 demons of hell and provides a system for invoking and controlling these demons, assuming the ritual is done properly. This ritual is incredibly specific, demanding rigorous preparation, including strict diets and extensive prep time. This book spills the tea on each demon's specialty, from finding hidden treasures to teaching sciences. It even includes detailed summoning instructions, sigils, and what offerings to bring, because you don't want to show up empty-handed to a demon invocation, right? But here's the catch. Summoning these entities is like playing with a Ouija board on steroids. One wrong move, and you might end up with more than just flickering lights. Pop culture thrives on this kind of material. Movies like Hereditary and games like Persona borrow heavily from its pages, transforming ancient demons into modern nightmares. The Dictionnaire Infernal, the ultimate who's who of hell. Ready to flip through a devilish directory? Meet the Dictionnaire Infernal, compiled by Jacques Collin de Plancy in 1818. This isn't your average encyclopedia. It's a who's who of the underworld, complete with job titles and, in later editions, unsettling illustrations that make demon trading cards look tame. So, who's on this infernal guest list? Let's dish out the details on some of Hell's VIPs. First up is Asmodeus, the demon of lust. Think of him as the original heartbreaker who can't keep his temptations to himself. Then there's Belphegor, the ultimate couch potato, luring people into laziness and idle fantasies. Ever blamed a messy room on bad vibes? Enter Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies, associated with pride and corruption. But wait, there's more. Astaroth, a Grand Duke of the Abyss, offers knowledge in exchange for a piece of your soul. Bargain or bad deal? You decide. And let's not forget Buer, a creature with the head of a lion and 5 goat legs radiating like spokes. He's into philosophy and healing, so maybe he's the underworld self-help guru. Each entry dives into their ranks, specialties, and how they meddle in human affairs. The 1863 edition is famous for Louis Le Breton's haunting illustrations, bringing these entities to life in a way that's both fascinating and nightmare-inducing. It's essentially a demonic organizational chart outlining who's who in Hell's hierarchy. The Black Pullet, unveiling the secrets of the mystic talisman. Embroider this amulet upon black satin and say, Nades Seratus Maniner, and a djinn is supposed to appear. Once the djinn appears, tell it Satyr, Prostus, Solaster, and the djinn will bring you your true love. If you're bored of her, say Mams Laher, and the djinn will make her disappear. This ritual comes from the Black Pullet, original French, la poule noire, also known as la poule aux œufs d'or, the hen that lays golden eggs. A grimoire that claims to teach the science of magical talismans and rings, including necromancy and Kabbalah. Allegedly written during Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign in the late 18th century, this enigmatic text tells the tale of a French soldier who saves a mysterious magician during a skirmish. In gratitude, the old man teaches him how to craft magical talismans and rings, each one granting specific abilities, from unlocking hidden treasures to commanding spirits. The crown jewel is the Black Pullet itself, a hen that lays eggs of pure gold. Think of it as an upgraded version of the Golden Goose. One parallel might be drawn to the Arabian Nights, or 1001 Nights, particularly in stories like Aladdin, where a magical object, in Aladdin's case, a lamp, grants immense power and wealth. The text is rich with esoteric symbolism and detailed instructions, blending elements of Hermeticism and Eastern mysticism. Beyond functioning as a manual for magical practices, it also serves as a parable, warning of the dangers that come with the pursuit of unlimited power. The Great Omar, the Titanic's cursed masterpiece. Emerging from the archives of literary history, The Great Omar stands as one of the most tragic and captivating tales of a book's creation and destruction. This legendary book was not a grimoire of dark magic or a compendium of forbidden knowledge, but rather an exquisitely crafted edition of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam that met a fate as poetic as its contents. Commissioned in 1909 by London bookbinders Sangorsky and Sutcliffe, The Great Omar was designed to be the most elaborate and luxurious book ever produced. One particularly striking passage from the Rubaiyat, illuminated in the book, reads, "The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash out a word of it." These words would prove unnervingly prophetic for the book's own fate. Tragically, The Great Omar sank aboard the Titanic in 1912, and in a strange coincidence, its creators, Sangorsky and Sutcliffe, both met untimely deaths soon after. A second version of the book, painstakingly recreated, was later destroyed during the London Blitz in World War II. Finally, a third attempt to recreate The Great Omar was completed in 2011 by British binders, who meticulously reconstructed it using the original designs. This edition now resides safely, so far, in the British Library. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, Navigating the Afterlife's Maze. Enter the Void, a 2009 French film directed by Gaspar Noé, references the Tibetan Book of the Dead in its narrative. But what exactly is this book all about? Ever wonder what happens between your last breath and whatever comes next? The ancient Tibetans mapped it out in the Bardo Thodol, commonly known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This text isn't just a book, it's a spiritual GPS for souls, intended to guide the recently deceased through the bewildering interim state between death and rebirth. Compiled by Padmasambhava in the 8th century, this text is read to the dying or deceased to help them navigate the Bardo, an intermediary state between death and rebirth. It details encounters with peaceful deities and wrathful gods, reflecting the soul's own fears and desires. Western fascination with the text peaked when it was first translated in the early 20th century, influencing psychologists like Carl Jung and sparking comparisons to psychedelic experiences in the works of Timothy Leary. Its impact can be seen across movies, meditation practices, and popular culture. While not cursed in the traditional sense, delving into its profound teachings without proper understanding is said to be perilous. Liber Alvel Legis, Crowley's Dark Vision. Ready to unravel a cosmic enigma penned by the man dubbed the wickedest man in the world? Let's delve into Liber Alvel Legis, or the Book of the Law. This book consists of 3 chapters, which Aleister Crowley claimed were dictated by a disembodied entity named Aiwass in Cairo, Egypt. These chapters are attributed to 3 deities, Nuit, Hadit, and Ra-Hoor-Khuit, representing fundamental cosmic forces in Crowley's spiritual system, Thelema. Crowley's journey into this mystical revelation began in March 1904, when he attempted to show his wife, Rose Kelly, the sylphs through the Bornless ritual, a ceremony intended to contact the holy guardian angel. During a night spent in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid of Giza, Rose appeared to enter a light trance, repeatedly saying, "They're waiting for you." This led to his reception of the Book of the Law, which he claimed was a divine transmission. At its core is the provocative axiom, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." However, this is not a call for unrestrained hedonism. Crowley emphasized that the phrase refers to the discovery of one's true will, a kind of spiritual destiny aligned with the universe's greater plan. Filled with cryptic verses and esoteric symbols, Liber Alvel Legis has gained a notorious reputation, particularly for the misfortunes it is said to bring to those who misinterpret its message. Despite, or perhaps because of, its controversy, Liber Alvel Legis has left an indelible mark on modern occultism, influencing everything from Wicca to pop culture icons like David Bowie and Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page. The Orphan's Story, a tale too cursed to tell. The Orphan's Story is a text so jinxed that publishers avoided it for centuries. Written between 1608 and 1615 by Spanish monk Martin de Leon, this 17th century novel vanished into obscurity, only to resurface in the 20th century. But here's where things get eerie. Every scholar who attempted to publish it met an untimely end. The narrative follows a young Spaniard who sails to the Americas seeking fortune and glory, a daring saga filled with pirates, hidden treasures, and perilous journeys. Sounds like a bestseller, right? Yet, despite its thrilling plot, the book remained unpublished for over 400 years. Whispers of a curse began to circulate, especially as researchers noted the string of mysterious deaths associated with the text, including renowned Spanish scholar Antonio Rodriguez Moñino and Spanish professor William C. Bryant. This only fueled the legend of the book's curse, making it seem like an omen for those who tried to unlock its secrets. In 2018, the curse was seemingly broken when the novel was finally published without incident. Or was it? Some say the energies surrounding the text have merely been lying dormant, waiting for new readers to unveil its hidden omens. De Vermis Mysterious, the worm's got secrets. Hold on to your sanity, folks. De Vermis Mysterious, or Mysteries of the Worm, is another spine-chilling creation from the twisted minds of authors Robert Bloch and H.P. Lovecraft. While technically fictional, this grimoire has blurred the lines between reality and nightmare for decades. Supposedly penned by Ludwig Prynne, an alchemist and necromancer who was burned at the stake in Brussels during the height of the witch trials, Prynne was captured during the Ninth Crusade in 1271 and attributed his occult knowledge to studying under the wizards and wonderworkers of Syria during his captivity. De Vermis Mysterious is like the Necronomicon's lesser-known but equally terrifying cousin. It is said to contain spells and rituals for summoning ancient deities and other eldritch horrors. One such spell, included in a chapter dealing with familiars, summons the titular Shambler from the Stars, referred to in the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game as a star vampire. The book also contains references to gods of divination, like Father Yig, Darkhand, and serpent-bearded Biotis. Another section, Saracenic Rituals, is said to reveal the lore of the Efreet and Jinn, the secrets of the assassin sects, Arabian ghoul tales, and hidden dervish cult practices, along with the legends of Inner Egypt. Lovecraft, who enjoyed sprinkling references to his friends' fictional creations in his own Cthulhu mythos, repeatedly mentioned De Vermis Mysteriis in his stories. In a 1936 letter to fellow mythos writer Henry Kuttner, Lovecraft mentioned De Vermis Mysteriis as one of the books that repeat the most hellish secrets learnt by early man. The Ripley Scrolls, Alchemy's Pictorial Enigma. Step into the enigmatic world of the Ripley Scrolls, a series of alchemical manuscripts attributed to the English alchemist Sir George Ripley in the 15th century. But don't expect straightforward instructions. These scrolls are wrapped in layers of symbolism so dense they make cryptic crosswords look like child's play. Each scroll is an elaborate artwork filled with vivid illustrations, dragons devouring themselves, kings and queens in mystic embraces, and cryptic Latin inscriptions. Scholars believe the imagery represents the stages of alchemical transmutation, guiding the adept toward creating the elusive Philosopher's Stone, a substance said to grant immortality and turn base metals into gold. Around 23 copies of the scrolls exist, some produced in the 16th century, likely at the request of the Elizabethan polymath John Dee. Over the centuries, countless alchemists and seekers have tried to decode the scrolls' secrets, often dedicating their entire lives to the pursuit. Some say those who come too close to understanding are met with madness or ruin, as if the knowledge exacts a heavy toll. The Rohunk Codex, the unsolvable cipher of mysteries. Ever thought the Voynich manuscript was the ultimate literary enigma? Think again. Enter the Rohunk Codex, a manuscript so perplexing that it's been taunting scholars for centuries. Discovered in Hungary in the early 19th century, this 448-page conundrum is filled with strange symbols and illustrations that seem to defy all logic and known languages. The script features an alphabet of over 200 distinct characters, far more than any known language requires, yet not chaotic enough to be pure gibberish. The pages are adorned with 87 intricate illustrations, depicting everything from religious ceremonies to battles, involving figures that could be Christian saints, pagan deities, or who knows, maybe even time travelers. Symbols like the cross, crescent, sun, and swastika all make an appearance, adding to the confusion. The art style is as inconsistent as the plot of a bad movie, further deepening the mystery of this baffling book. Countless cryptographers, linguists, and codebreakers have attempted to crack the code, proposing theories ranging from it being an ancient Hungarian dialect to a sophisticated hoax. Yet despite advances in technology and cryptanalysis, the Rohunk Codex remains an unsolved mystery.